Crypto is really heating up right now. And the question is, do we still have time to buy, or are we already too late? And should we slowly take some profits maybe? Or is it way too early for that? And is this the perfect moment? Because the market is going all places, mainly up. And we don't seem to get a huge correction yet. So, what if you feel like, man, I want to take some more positions, but is it actually too late? Let's take a look at that. Also, in the video, I'm gonna ask you a question. If you get the answer right, leave a comment. I'm gonna pick one person that wins $100 worth of USDT, just for the attention span for watching and saying thank you to this community. In the meantime, give the video a like. Would really help me. Just like it, small effort, and might give me a little bit more exposure to future watchers. Now, if we look at this, we all know about this, right? The Wall Street cheat sheets. This is accurate for forever, basically. This is not crypto related, but just, general market cycles. And crypto also moves in a market cycle, right? Everybody always asks, like, hey, where in the cycle are we? And indeed, we are somewhere in the cycle. Crypto is super cyclical and therefore pretty predictable in some cases, right? Especially Bitcoin. So if we're going to take a look where we are, leave a comment. Where do you think that we are? Before watching this video any further, let me know. Are we at hope, disbelief, optimism? Are we still at anger for some reason? Euphoria? You tell me. I would like to go over what I think, where we are exactly, and how we can play the market right now. So if you look at the top of the 2021 bull run, that was pretty clear. That was the euphoria stage, right? Everybody was making money. Everything was going up like hard, like really, really hard, like crazy. Then we got that, that first dip. And people exactly thought like what it said here. We just need to cool off for the next rally. But then they start to realize like, oh, wait, is this actually a cool off? Because we're going down even further. And that gets people, that brings that anxiety. Like, oh, shit, like, what if it's not just a normal correction? Why am I getting margin calls? This dip is taking longer than I expected. And before you know, we are already actually in the bear market and you haven't taken any profits yet. And you are about to get wrecked. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing right now is already a future prediction for people that step into this market later. And yeah, unfortunately, crypto is player versus player. They're going to be our exit liquidity. The new people that are about to step into crypto, they don't know about the 4-year cycle. They don't know how Bitcoin moves. They don't know about bull markets, bear markets, etc. They just see a price surpassing the Bitcoin all-time high, 80K, 100K, and they be like, whoa, I should get this. While in reality, you're too late, right? So, well, this time is what we had, right? We had the anger phase already. We had anger at products and exchanges and everything, and people that turned out to scam or to fail. We had a lot of collapses. Everything went to shit, FTX, etc. That's where everything looks terrible. And then the worst part, in my opinion, if you are not prepared for this, is the depression phase. This part going down is at least exciting, right? Stuff happens. When we are here, you just want to make your money back, but nothing happens. And usually it's just a slow bleed, or it just, it goes sideways for way too long and you're sitting on an empty bag and you'll be like, God, that's depressing. My retirement money is lost. Like, you start to accept it, right? Now, I don't feel that we are there right now as well. Then the market starts to pick up again, right? And that's called the disbelief phase. People don't believe it because the market went down for so long and we have all these bounces in between, but every bounce, turns out to disappoint you. So people be like, this is just another bounce. Never mind, right? This is just suckers rally. This is not gonna work. It will feel like others. That's a disbelief. Then we have hope. Hey, it might actually recover. Then we have optimism. Okay, it is real. Right? People are starting to get excited again. Like, okay, the market is heating up. Let's go. We're finally making some money back right now. Then we are coming to these nice phases, right? Belief. Okay, yes, it's time to get fully invested. We're going to do it. I think we're somewhere between optimism and belief, actually. I don't think we are thrill yet. That's too soon. But I think we're somewhere here. Right? And somewhere here, hey, you could also have like dips and corrections, right? And that could turn your belief into maybe some, cautious optimism again. But overall, I think that we are there right now. If you look at it like this, I don't know how to overlay this perfectly, but it looks quite real, right? We're going up, euphoria, going down, okay, second bounce, and we're going down. Shit, anger, right? Anger, Bitcoin from 70K to 18K. What the hell? And then that slow bleed, right? Depression, new low, depression. And then it goes up again. This was the disbelief phase. This recent pump, this brought us into the hope phase, in my opinion. That's what I think. If we look at the cycle, people always like to point out, look at the last cycle and be like, we are here. Yeah, in fact, we are probably. But the best answer is we are here, right? The cycles, they move very much the same. But it doesn't mean the same exactly will happen. That we got a 20% bounce right there doesn't mean we get a 20% bounce right here. A 40% correction right here doesn't mean we get it right there, right? Like these numbers are all different. The way we move within a certain time period, give or take on the macro scale, that's the same. And that's what we talked about a lot on this channel. We got this top end 2013, top end 2017, top end 2021. Even the bottoms happen every 4 years. The cycles every 4 years in between. We run up towards 618, right? If you look at this, we bottomed 618, rejection, and went up. Here as well, run up 618, rejection, went up. And here, hey, we run up 618, we got a 20% correction, and now we're running up again. It is interesting. I feel like, man, right now in the market, I was one of the biggest callers for a big correction. I know. And purely not because it was a bad call, it was the best call, right? Why? Because it always happened. It was the most likely, right? And crypto is not really about being right or being wrong, but about, putting your money where you think it's most likely to go. That's the only way to make it. The thing is that we didn't get that big of a correction that we had right here or in that cycle before that. We just had 20%. This was 53. This was almost 40. We now just had 20. Could it be that we are cheering too soon? Hey, it could be. I mean, this correction right here, look how long this took, right? Multiple months. We're now still in the same month, right? So, yeah. I want to say that if we get a good correction, there will be fear in the market because, believe me, people are only used to going up right now, so there will be fear. But if we get a big correction, I'll be the first to buy it, right? Just know that, because everybody wants to buy right now, right? Yeah, it's better to buy here or wherever it goes, right? If it happens. So, is it too late to buy? Well, if we look back at this sheet right here, hey, the best time was here, right? But that's always easy to say in hindsight. Once you're in it, it doesn't feel like a great time. But that's for the next cycle. Learn it for yourself as well. When it feels like very wrong to buy, might be the best time. Same goes for selling in the next bull market. Once we have that euphoria again, and it feels like everybody's talking about unrealistic price targets, right? And everything is like crazy, and you hear crypto all around you, at the barbershop and your neighbors, and I don't know, and then it doesn't feel that right to sell. So you might want to sell, right? To just go a little, like, if you use your emotions in crypto, you get wrecked. If you cannot seem to turn them off, at least do the opposite of what your emotions tell you. You will be fine. Don't look at your emotions, look at the charts. It's always the best thing to do, man. So, here was the best time for sure. If we are now somewhere here, hey, we have still a long way to go. Will you get the best entry? No. But will you now have a better entry than in a year from now? Probably. Right? So take that as your advantage, because time is now your enemy. I think that, in a year from now or something, we look back at today and be like, why didn't I just buy more? Now I have to wait for a whole new different cycle. Yeah, and that sucks because, it's going to diminish. There's more money coming into crypto. Now we have institutions playing with us. Big money is coming in. Yeah, Bitcoin is not going to move as hard as it did last cycles, right? It's already not doing that. Let alone next cycle will be way less. You will still be able to make money. Really easy, probably. But still, treat it like it's now or never, because in some way it is. So, yeah, I think it's still a good moment to buy, in my opinion. Look, and I already have a good position, so I'm not buying right now. I'm buying if we have a next dip. If not, also fine, right? I can afford to miss out on that part of my cash back. But if I were so much out of the market right now that I look at the market to be like, okay, what if it 10x's off from here? Do I have enough exposure? And if the answer is no, I'm at just DCA right now, and I will stand some potential future corrections, right? So that's why I think we are. It's weird, man. If you look, this was the halving, right? And before the halving, we got rejected from the 618, went down. And after the halving, we went up. Now also we got rejected, but way closer to the halving. So it's already moving quite like, it's hard to tell. Maybe this cycle plays out faster than usual or slower, right? Because you could say like, man, we are already pumping this much before the halving, right? If you look at this, Bitcoin pumped 240%. Then again, if you look at this here, Bitcoin pumped 330%. And we still went down after that. So if we are about to do that, 330, yeah, that would actually mean going back to the previous all-time high and then have a correction and then go up. I don't know, man. It's like I think that's too hard to predict. Actually, I can sit here very self-assured, like, yeah, this is gonna happen. But man, in all honesty, I don't know. So therefore, hey, it's maybe just best to DCA into it, right? Because let's face it, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We can take our best guesses. My best guess is that somewhere in this area we will see a final correction and then go up after the halving. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, right? Like just DCA. So yeah, and other than that, the altcoin market, it's gonna fly with it eventually, and we will finally see an altcoin season at some point, right? If we do look at the Bitcoin dominance, the Bitcoin dominance is now moving like this, like yeah, it's going down a little bit, and it, in all honesty, it looks like the dominance has stopped out. Therefore, I said like, hey, I'm putting my Bitcoin into altcoins right now, because technically we're making lower highs right now and we're cooling off, but also we already have the Bitcoin ETF. What other narrative is bigger than the ETF that could make the dominance go up even more? Matter of fact, we're getting an Ethereum ETF, right? An altcoin ETF. So, hey, if that's not a good narrative for an altcoin season, then I don't know what is. right? So I think the Bitcoin dominance has topped out. Also, big resistance right here. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Um, and what we see right now is, hey, Ethereum, you're finally doing something, right? Ethereum against Bitcoin has been bleeding for such a long time, and it looks like it's now finally getting that, that strength again. It's above this trend line that goes back to 2019, actually, right? It's above that right now. It wasn't below it for a while. It was in this falling wedge for a long time. We're now, closing above it this week. We are now facing this resistance right here, which if we give it another little push, we can break that. It's finally looking a little stronger. And what you'll notice now is that because Bitcoin is above 50K, but Ethereum was bleeding against Bitcoin, Ethereum didn't really do much. But now Ethereum is finally pushing it. And I know what you think, like, yeah, guy, I don't care much about Ethereum. But money coming into Ethereum is good for altcoins, because Ethereum is the biggest altcoin out there. So that money will flow into altcoins eventually. Now, Ethereum is, in my opinion, like, we are getting there, man. It's funny that if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin just has to go up 36% to go back to its all-time high. If you look at Ethereum, Ethereum still has to go up with 60% to go back to its all-time high. So Ethereum is way further from the all-time high. In my opinion, it has more room to grow right now. And the next big resistance, yeah, it should be somewhere around 3,500. There is not really much. Yeah, 33.5, give or take. But that area, that's the reason. From here, I don't know. I don't see much resistance. So Ethereum is doing well. Then if we look at altcoins, hey, altcoins are doing well with it, right? It just made a new high. However, keep in mind, be a little careful with altcoins right now, because this is major resistance, okay? We are in a major resistance area. If we break this, then I will feel like, okay, let's really go with altcoins. But altcoins haven't done anything exceptional yet, right? Altcoins went up 240%, just like Bitcoin. And this doesn't even include the top 10 altcoins, okay? The, slower growers. If you include those, then it's way less. So it's still time to shine for altcoins, in my opinion. Now, if we look at this is interesting. This is from Eric Crown. I would recommend following him. First major weekly signal on Ethereum Bitcoin pair in around 2 years. Now, what's interesting is we get this buying signal right now. We didn't have that for a long time, right? What's the average move? The average move is 460% in a matter of 130 days. 460% in 130 days. So that would mean 130 days. Let me put it on the daily chart right here. 130. July, give or take, and then 460%, bro. That's, wow. That's like up a lot. And again, I'm not saying, and I don't think he's saying as well, that this will happen, but this is the average move. It makes sense to go up like this. We just broke out of this falling wedge. So, yeah, it could happen. And it's just 2 times as high as the all-time high. With the ETF coming for Ethereum, it doesn't feel not logical. So, that would really pop off an alt season. Really pop off an alt season. Now, what I also think is interesting, what would back that alt season up, is finally new people coming into the market by then. Because let's be honest, we went from 15K to 50K without any new people. It's just existing money, right? Look at the USDT dominance. This went down, right? So people had their money in USDT and they deployed it into Bitcoin. Now, it's funny. I draw this trend line like months ago, and look where we bounce. Like, not perfectly, but hey, I could have also drawn it like this right here. But this is going to be some huge support. Okay, so this could mean Bitcoin cooling off for a while, because when we had resistance basically from September 2020 until May 2022, 1 and almost 2 years of resistance, it's usually not likely that we just break that as support in the first try. So what could happen is that we now bounce here, maybe, I don't know, and eventually break it. If we bounce, that means more money is coming in USDT, aka people taking profit on their positions. Doesn't sound weird if you see how much the altcoin market has gone up. If you see how much Ethereum now has gone up, if you see how much Bitcoin has gone up, of course people are going to take some profit at some point. So it makes a lot of sense. So that could also be the catalyst for a correction, right? That I've been yelling for like ages. Could happen right now in around this area, right? Maybe we just break it like first try, no problem. Could happen, of course, but hey, that's usually just not what happens. But I think that's interesting. Now, again, no new people are in crypto yet. What you'll notice is this. The red line is new people coming into crypto. When did, really new people come into crypto last cycle? Well, that was basically October, December, end of 2020, right? What happened end of 2020? Well, end of 2020 was here when Bitcoin broke its previous all-time high, right? All-time high, broken, and you notice from that moment, hey, I'm interested. Like that's what happens, right? Also, these newer people are like, so you'll notice that they are too late, right? Also, you'll notice by this, we had the top for Bitcoin here. This is where the top for new people happened. Like we had the top April, top new people May. So most of the people in crypto, they came in a month after Bitcoin topped, actually, right? And yeah, we had that second peak right here, but it's funny, right? So I do think that, again, like this time as well, once Bitcoin finally makes a new all-time high, which is not that far from here, like we just saw, it's like 40%, not even, then new people are start to come into crypto. And it's funny, like this time, Bitcoin went down and it was the low. FTX crash, we had that big spike interest. A lot of people, they felt like, oh, let's see what's happening. And like a day later, they already felt like, oh, it's fucked up. Okay, never mind, bye. And that was actually the bottom. So once Bitcoin bottomed out and started to go up again, everybody felt like, nah, let's leave. Weird, right? And then when Bitcoin was already like from 15K to 25K, so it was already like 40% like 80% higher, whatever it is. That's when nobody gave a fuck. Like, and now Bitcoin went up even more, and it went up a little bit, but look where we are. It's so low, right? We're at the same levels as here, for example. This point. Nobody really cares. So the ones that are driving the price up are mainly the people that were already here, deploying their USDT, as we just saw, and the institutions right now, right? BlackRock. Other than that, I'm still not getting phone calls from old friends, right? So, hey, by the time we see this happen, we will, right? It's funny. So when you look at that, yes, we still have time to buy, right? Because you are going to front run everybody that's going to step in here. So this might drive the price up like crazy. So we might be sitting at 50K already, but hey, does it sound like a lot? Well, I mean, it depends where it's eventually going. Like, if we just go to 80K, then yeah, 50K, we're already quite there, right? But if we go to, let's say, 300K, then 50K is a pretty decent buy. And then a lot of people will buy at 250. I mean, here when let me take a look. Here, for example, we were sitting at the same level, right? Bitcoin was 7K. It still had a 10K, a 10x to go. When it comes to interest, we have the same amount of people right now. I'm not saying we will do a 10x, but I mean, if so much retail is yet to step into this, yeah, some interesting times are coming for sure. I believe that it's not too late, and as long as you are earlier than all these people, then you're doing quite well, right? And again, also, if we look at the altcoin market, hey, yeah, we had a good run up, right? But let's be real right here. What did the altcoin market do? We did a 240% gain, right, from the bottom. If we take it last cycle, 240%, yeah, that's here, right? In hindsight, was this a bad moment to buy? I mean, yeah, this was a way better position, right? It doesn't seem like much, but it's a 2x difference, right? We went all the way here. So if you bought here, you could have made a 40x. If you bought here, you made 80x. Yeah, that's quite life changing, the difference, right? Nevertheless, are you going to complain about a 40x? Right, so eventually, yeah, no, this was not a bad moment to buy. So although it looks like we are sitting really high, yeah, we did it here as well, right? We went from the bottom all the way to the top of the range, one last like dip, and we broke it. Well, basically again, but that was because of COVID. What we did right now, went to the bottom. Could this be the first time that we go to the top of the range? Then we cool off a little bit, and then we break it again, like we did last cycle. Maybe, right? I mean, it's still fab. If the Ethereum ETF maybe comes in May, you know, it could be a couple of months of like, you know, maybe just a little cool off or sideways. It doesn't have to go down like this necessarily. It could, but it doesn't have to. In my opinion, it's very unlikely that we just keep on doing this. Right? Like that's not what a bull market looks like. It will look like this, right? Not exactly, of course, but we have these dips along the way. And how far we dip, yeah, that's always the question, of course. But overall, if you have not enough positions in the market right now, I would say a DCA strategy is just the best to do. Way best. If you agree, give the video a like. If you don't agree, unlike it. Whatever, I don't care. Also helps, apparently. So, you know, altcoins, yeah, okay, they do okay, right? They do okay. But it's not like they are going crazy or anything yet. Of course, there are some altcoins that do crazy. But hey, I mean, we still have to do a 2x to just go back to our previous all-time high, let alone make a new all-time high like we always do, right? And the funny thing is that this is the top 125, right? TradingView doesn't track the low caps because they're worth nothing, right? So it doesn't make a difference right here. But it does mean that if this does 2x, your low caps could do like a 5x. Right? If we go surpass this and let's say we do I don't know, a 5x, your low caps could do a 25x, right? 20, 30x, something like that. It could happen. It could definitely happen. From this point, let alone if we still get a good dip, that we can buy it a little cheaper, right? It's not only about your exit, it's about your entry as well. And if you got this entry right here, great. If you didn't, well, it's not over, right? We're just getting started. So, some altcoins just keep on mooning, right? Like we have, for example, DexCheck, and a project that I invested in quite hard. And, you know, only this last run up, it already did a 7x, right? So this is, of course, outperforming the market, but that's what I mean. This is a low cap, right? The total altcoin market, look, I mean, this goes back to September 2023. If we go to September 2023, it's here, right? So from that point, the altcoin market overall has done a 2.5x, right? This thing has done a 7x. So it did like 3 times as much. And there are, like, that's just one example, right? But there are many, many, many more. I went over this specific list in the latest couple of videos, so I won't bore you with that. These are all doing great. But also projects like Ultra, it's finally, you know, doing something right here. Chart doesn't make sense. Here, now it does. He broke out. Great, right? But Ultra, also, just an example. Yes, if you zoom in on charts, it might look like, oh, fuck, missed it. If you zoom out and you put it in a little perspective, you'd be like, perfect accumulation, if you ask me, right? Pretty much sideways here. So it depends a little bit, like, hey, are you trading for the short term? Okay, cool, zoom in. Are you trading for the long term? Fine, zoom out, right? We'll be fine. So although we already seen some 2x's, man, whatever, right? If we go back to this cycle right here, you see Ultra sitting at these levels. And if you zoom in enough, right, it went from 8 cents all the way to 20 cents. Wow, almost a 3x, just like now, basically. Fuck, missed it. Yeah, whatever, man. Look what happened after that. That was sideways. Then we had this. You feel like, oh my God, this was it. Nope, wasn't it. Here we go. And that is what we will get this cycle as well, okay? Not necessarily with this project, but there are some coins that you feel like, wow, 3x already? Bro, you don't know what's coming, okay? It's gonna be fucking crazy because it feels like, where's all that money coming from? But bro, pumping a let's say, $1 million market cap coin to 80 million, right? It's an 80x. But it's if that happens, this chart right here, this altcoin collective altcoin chart, won't change a bit, right? Because this is 240 billion. What is 80 million to that? All right, so this doesn't even have to moon for the low caps to go absolutely crazy. And that's the beauty about crypto right now. It's gonna be completely fantastic. So yeah, fun times ahead. Fun times ahead. Question for the giveaway. I need a good question. Give me a second to think about a good question. What, in your opinion, is the coin in this list that's gonna make most profits? This list right here. What's gonna make most profits this bull market? Let me know in the comments and let me know why you think that. If you have a good answer, then you can win $100. Let's go with that. I'm being a little bitch when it comes to the questions sometimes, but hey, I give away free money. Come on, let's do something for it, right? Did this twice now already. 2 people very happy, so I'm happy to make you happy. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Guys, if you like the content, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn the bell notification on and check out the Patreon link down below for exclusive deals. Follow Alex Becker, his freaking wallet, to see what he's buying, personal consulting, exclusive videos, you name it. Do check it out. Take care. Have a nice day.